Our political analyst Brian Sobel joins us now. So Brian, when it comes to a possible government shutdown, do you think the two sides will reach a deal to avoid it?
I think so. I think the health care reform package is not going to have enough votes yet to make that happen. I think they'll pull that back a little bit and work on the real priority, which is finding the compromise to keep the government open for another week while they're working on the details of that. The theme here is lots of details, and nobody can seem to come to agreement on these things.
So many different things to talk about here, but 100 days in office. The president will reach that milestone, if you will, on Saturday. What do you think of his first 100 days so far?
Well, I think we have to bring it from the perspective of a president who had never served in political office. We've only had 5 of those in our history, Donald Trump being the 5th. And he's learning on the job, and what he's learning is being a business person and hoping that he can issue an order and have it taken care of was just that, a hope. Government doesn't work that way. It's about finding compromise, it's about talking across the aisle, and it's about counting votes. And he is learning to do that, and we're starting to see a little bit more progress in that regard.
Okay, going back to healthcare just for a minute, you have to give the Republicans credit for really pushing through, trying to get renewed momentum after the first bill went down in flames. Now they have the House Freedom Caucus on board, but now moderates are backing away. How likely is it that they can get everyone on board? House leaders are insisting, or Republican leaders insisting, they're not going to bring this to a vote until they get enough support.
Well, and that's the key, Julie. The fact is no point in trying to bring this forward if you don't have the votes. That lesson's been learned. And by tweaking it the way that they have and bringing on the Freedom Caucus, and the tweak was, in large extent, sending work back to the states, or allowing states to have more input. Now moderates are moving away, and this is the real problem here, is Donald Trump doesn't even actually have control of all of the Republicans. It's a very dicey situation.
Brian, let me switch gears here, talking about the situation in Berkeley. Ann Coulter's canceled speech, Milo Yiannopoulos' canceled speech, the questions about free speech. We have the rallies today. Fortunately, there hasn't been any violence, but what's your take on all of this that's been happening?
Well, I'm saddened by it because I think at the end of the day, we don't like what a lot of people say, especially when they don't agree with us. But that's not the whole point of free speech. And there's this argument over hate speech versus free speech. Well, over the years, the ACLU, as an example, have defended the Nazis marching in Illinois, you know, and that sort of thing. Not because they thought the message was right, but because in America you get to have your say. And on the Berkeley campus, of all places, anybody should have their say, and you should have it in a free way and without worrying about violence. And that's really the message.
Yeah, and it really is hurting, I think, Berkeley's reputation.
Absolutely, it is.
Because we'll have much more with you a little bit later in the next hour. For now, we'll leave it at that. Brian,
Perfect.
thank you.
Yep.